Good afternoon, everyone. As we are moving towards the third session of one-day webinar, I am Mrs. Smita Sharke. Feel proud to introduce speaker of the session as he is our prestigious alumni. Yogendra Vilas Patil, he is currently serves as a senior associate in GRAAS regulatory operations at Amgen, Hyderabad. He did his Bachelor of Pharmacy from Gokhale Education Society, Sir Dr. M.S. Gosavi College of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Nasik, and along with an MBA from Symbiosis International University. With a strong background in leading regulatory submissions, driving process improvement, and ensuring global compliance, Mr. Patil has contributed to several high impact initiatives throughout his career at organizations such as Halion, Paraxel, and Tata Consultancy Services. He is an accomplished regulatory publishing and operations professional with an extensive expertise in global ECTD submissions, regulatory intelligence, and lifecycle management across major health authorities, including US, EU, GCC, and South Africa. Mr. Patil is dedicated to advancing regulatory excellence through innovations, quality, and collaborative leadership. We are honored to have him with as a speaker for today's session. He is going to explore his expertise on the topic of drug regulatory affairs. I request Yogendra to start the session.
Uh, can you guys please confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can see your screen, sir. Just if possible, if you
Okay.
could hide the prompt, the pop-up that is showing that you're sharing the screen. There's a hide option over there. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. You are
Yeah.
visible and audible too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So I'll start. Before that, I would like to thank the committee for giving me the opportunity for giving this webinar. So for the topic of today's webinar, for me is drug regulatory affairs. So drug regulatory affairs is not just one thing, but there is one part of drug regulatory affairs is ECTD and submissions. So we are going to see about it. So what we are going to cover in this webinar for this session is like what is drug regulatory affairs, types of submissions is not the exactly type of submissions which is given by the health authorities, because this is just about the dispatch formats we are going to talk. Then what is ECTD, why ECTD, the history behind it, the ECTD modules of it, the components of ECTD, which are very important, and what are the general considerations, and some procedures in EU and EU variations. Because in the current world, only a few countries are having have their own ECTD guidelines, or rest of the markets are most of the following the EU procedures, not the procedures, but the variations and their guidelines as well. That is the reason we are going to see it. So drug regulatory affairs. So the introduction to the regulatory affairs is like regulatory affairs ensures drug safety, efficacy, and quality for public health by acting as a bridge between pharmaceutical industry and regulatory authorities. RA professionals oversees the compliance from development through post-approval stages, playing critical roles in submissions, communications, and guidance interpretation for legal and regulatory requirements. As it is mentioned over here, it is a bridge between the pharmaceutical industry and regulatory authorities. So start from the drug development process to the bringing up the drug into the market and the post-marketing approvals or whatever the requirements will be overseen by the drug regulatory affairs departments. There are multiple departments, but as I said, we are going to look for the ECTD ones. So these are the dispatch formats, the types of submissions. There are different types of submissions for the which are being submitted to health authority by the different countries of their respective health authorities. So the old way of working on submissions was like paper submissions. Today also many countries are highly dependent on paper submissions, but day by day they are improving their services. Paper submissions are nothing but whatever the documentation is we are going to submit to that health authority of that particular country will be submitted in the form of files, and everything will be printed. And I must tell that the submissions are not just about one file or two files. It can be bunch of files, hundreds of files, a room of files can be. Then the next type of submission is non-ECTD electronic submission. This was the submission type which we were using before the ECTD to rule out the paper submissions. And the next one is electronic submission with ECTD, which is electronic common technical document. As you can see here, paper files, this is CD, and the ECTD submission will be based on through server to server. So what is ECTD? ECTD is the electronic common technical document, common format for quality, safety, and efficacy info. Sorry, and efficacy information. The ECTD is the electronic equivalent to CTD. CTD and ECTD, there is no much difference. Whatever the structure they are going to follow, whatever the ECTD tree is there, the same will be followed in CTD, but there will be some more extra features which will help health authority as well as the company who is applying to get the approval. It will help them, and it is easier for health authority as well as the company to get an approval as soon as possible, or the faster we can say. So an interface for industry to agency transfer of regulatory information. As I said, it's an interface. ECTD, in simple words, it will be like ECTD backbone is an XML file representing the structure of the submission. It includes links to files and other metadata such as checksum. So what is ECTD? Backbone is nothing but the XML file which will have all the list of documents, and there will be hyperlinks over it. If you are clicking on the links, it will lead you to the document, so that the browsing of documents and the movement within the submission which makes easier. So regulatory perspective behind the ECTD. The ECTD is defined as interface for industry, as I said, and that if we look at the what I can say, the benefits over the CTD for the ECTD are like the review of the submission will be much easier, the lifecycle management and the archival of the electronic submission, because lifecycle management is very important part. Life cycle management is not just about the product, it's about the life cycle management of a document, which is very much important here in ECTD, which the feature which is not available in CTD. Life cycle management, I would like to give a bit more explanation on this in a very short way. Is like, suppose you are submitted one, you have already submitted one document, and then health authority has asked questions to you, and after that you have to submit a new document. In that way, the server will store two different files, but here the lifecycle management will come in picture for the ECTD, which is very important feature of ECTD. And there the old document will be replaced with the new, and health authority will be able to see only the new document. If they want to see the older one, they can see, but it will sort the view for the reviewer as well, who is doing the evaluation of that particular variation or a submission to give the approval. So the technical perspective behind the ECTD is structured set of folders. It will contain the PDF files. It may contain the Word files, also the SAS files, and index XML and regional XML. Index XML is nothing but the M1 XML file, which will be the part of the ECTD submission, and it will have details of all the documents which I have got submitted in the module 1. We'll see in detail what is modules. And if it is US, then it is called as US regional XML. If it is EU, then it is called as EU regional XML. Then checksum of files. Checksum is very important thing when it comes to ECTD submissions. If there is an issue with the checksum file, or if the checksum is changed, then it will be straightforward rejection by the health authority. And also the study tagging files is a part of US submissions, and also the DTD and style sheet, which support the backbone XML. DTD is nothing but we'll be able to see it in future slides. So why ECTD? So what is the need behind the ECTD? Definitely the quality, the cost, and the environmentally responsibles. So the quality is better quality, means for reviewer it's very easier to review the submission rather than carrying each file, just turning on the pages and going here and there for the references and searching for it. It's very easier. The entire life cycle of product covered, the easy and rapid call-up information. The next thing is cost. Definitely paper transportation cost reduced because of that, because printing machine involved, transportation cost involved, and if you are from India, you want to take approval for the European Health Authority. Now they are using ECTD, but if it would have been a paper submissions, those files would have been couriered, then customs, lot of things involved. So ECTD has done it very easier for now these days. Then the storage and archive required documents. So storage and archival is also very important part, because what have been submitted at that time, agency can review at any time in future as well. So the storage of paper submissions will definitely require a space, but here if you want to store or archive the submissions in ECTD format, it's just matter of getting server and getting some cloud spaces. These days it's very easier to get it. Even the faster, more efficient review, quicker registration, and environmentally responsible, as we can say. So we can save a tree. So if we see for one submission, if there are 240,000 pages, so this would have costed me 672 kgs of paper, and it would have costed one tree. So we can save an environment with this. So before ECTD, as I said, the paper submissions will be like, see here at the left side, ECTD dossier book rack. So you see these many files. Also, not just the pharma companies, it's a headache for health authorities as well. So it's just a book rack where they have settled, and at the right side there is a reviewer's desk. Just imagine how it is difficult for them to review the paper submissions. So that is the reason ECTD. So after the ECTD, see, CTD dossier is in server. He will just sit up with his laptop or the system. He will just get into the reviewer system, and he can review the submissions easily. That's what after CTD, what has exactly changed. So if we see about the e-submission history, e-submissions is nothing but it called as ECTD only, but these are the electronic submissions. We are not using the term exactly ECTD. So it was the regional reviewer driven. In 1980s, early activities in US started in 1980s. Then in 1990s, computer aided new drug applications in Canada. So they have started this electronic submissions. They started it, and then Damos in Germany and Mansev in France. So after that, the harmonization came into the picture. So in 1997, M2EWG start working closely with M4CTD. And then in 2003, the first guidance released in ICH, means International Conference of Harmonization, where ECTD guideline they had, which is version 3. And then it got implemented. ICH ECTD guideline 3.2, that was implemented in all ICH regions. ICH regions means whatever the countries and regions are a part of International Conference on Harmonization, that gets implemented. In 2008, ICH ECTD guideline version 3.2.2 came into the picture, and it stated that all electronic submission must be in ECTD format in US, and EU started in 2010. So if we talk about the US FDA in January 2008, as I said, ECTD became CEDAR, that is Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, the full form of CEDAR I'm talking about, Standard for Electronic Submissions. FDA has made it mandatory for all electronic submissions to be in ECTD format through 2007 and 8. Then in 2017, NDAs, that is new drug applications, then ANDAs, that is abbreviated new drug applications, then BLA, that is biologics license applications. In 2017, they made it mandatory. And after 2018, commercial investigational new drug INDs, means commercial INDs and master files, DMFs it might have, drug master files, should be submitted in ECTD. And as I said, in Europe, they made it mandatory in 2010 only. So let's talk about the ECTD modules. As I said, we'll see it in future slides. So what is the ECTD module? So ECTD are having 5 modules. Let's talk about that. That is the main core of the ECTD submission, because it states that what kind of documents will go in module 1, what kind of in 2, 3, 4, 5. So ECTD modules, when making an electronic submission, each document should be provided as a separate file. So whatever the documents you are providing, it should be provided as a separate file with its respective what I can say section. You cannot merge multiple section files and provide just one PDF file. It will mess up the reviewer's task. So it should be submitted as a single file. The documents, whether for marketing application, an investigational application, or related submission, should be organized based on 5 modules. So these are the 5 modules. So module 1 will contain the administrative information. Suppose the submission is for European region. So module 1 will have everything, that is cover letter, application form, the package leaflets, SPCs, SMPCs, the CPPs. SMPC is nothing but is the summary of product characteristics. Package leaflets would be there. Definitely some interpack, intrapack, all the documents which are related to that specific country will be included. And module 2 to module 5, most of the time it will be same for whatever the region is, only depend on the health authorities. After submission they will require some more information. So module 1 will have administrative information, module 2 will have summary for all 3 to 4 all 2, 3, 4 and 5 modules. Module 3 is specifically the quality, which is CMC, chemistry, manufacturing and controls, which will have the qualitative information about it. Then module 4 will have the non-clinical study reports, and module 5 will have the clinical study reports. The references for non-clinical study reports will also be included in module 4, and the literature references which are needed, which are required for clinical, will be in module 5, which are very important at the time of review of submissions. So what we can say is the components of ECTD. When we are talking about the ECTD, what comes inside ECTD? Because everyone just say ECTD, just submissions, documents, module 1 to module 5, that's it. But the components are very important to understand, because health authority guidelines clearly states that in which format what they document they need it, because this is one of the important thing. If we are submitting whatever format is required for the health authority will straightforward reject the submissions, and it will cost definitely the time. Second, the amount which has been invested by the company, which is very high, the fees for the submission reviewing. The third thing, the most impacting thing is whatever the medicine you are registering will be delayed in the market, which results in patient won't get those medicines on times, and definitely the patients will serve. All the pharma companies will be like, we want to serve patients and bring them good medicines. So this is very important, that whatever we are following, the submission should be very much clear as per the guidelines. That is the reason this ECTD is having very high demand, very high in demand these days. So the folder or tree structure, definitely the ECTD will have some softwares, and there will be some sections. We just have to put all the documents and review the submissions. The set of files, it may contain PDFs, the Word files, rich text formats, and definitely the pictures, files, JPG, sometimes videos, some social, those can also be the part of. Because if we talk about some US markets and all, in US you have to take approval for the advertisement as well, what whichever you want to show it to the customers or patients or the health or the healthcare professionals, you have to take permission. So the at that time videos will also go into that. So the ECTD backbone is an XML file, that is extensible markup language, representing the structure of the submission. It includes links to the files and other metadata such as checksum information. The schema of the XML is very rigid, and PDF hyperlinks would be there. The schema of the XML, which is very rigid, means it cannot be changed. It will be same throughout the market in the world. Wherever you go for ECTD submission, the XML backbone and its schema will be the same. That is what ICH has brought. So the next components, if we talk about the common formats that can be included in ECTD, as I said, PDFs, XMLs, in graphics, GIFs, videos, PEGs, photographic expert groups, PDFs can be given. So see, if here the components of ECTD, see the here in this first screenshot, you can see the folder structure. Here always the ECTD sequence which will be submitted first will be tetra 0. Then there will be having a folder M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. M1 is nothing but module 1, and this will be the util folder. What is util folder? We'll get to know in upcoming slides. Then ECTD submissions. There are some countries which require ECTD submission to, they don't have gateway. They want it in copied in CD. Then the XML backbone will have this kind of file. The regional XML will kind of this file. And checksum and document ID. Checksum is very important. It may lead to rejection, as I said. Then content files, these will be the contents. And this is like envelope for BE, means envelope is nothing but the regional metadata for that particular country. So let's move to the further side. So XML backbone view. So this is the XML backbone view. Though it looks like some programming language and like thing, it's not like that. It's very easier to understand once we are started working on it. It will be very easier. Here it is mentioned at 3 to S4. This is a section of module 3 and drug substance part, that is control of drug substance. All the details over here. These replays are nothing but the life cycle attributes, append and all. So this is the XML backbone view. How it will look like this will look like this, XML backbone view. So the next is what is DTD. As I said, It's a document type definition which will have style sheets and all, which defines the schema and all. So purpose of DTD to define the legal building blocks of an XML document. It defines the document structure with a list of legal elements. What is style sheets? As I said, document type definition will have style sheets. So style sheet is a style sheet language used to describe the presentation semantics, the look and formatting of a document written in markup language. It is most common application is to style web pages written in HTML and XHTML, but language can also be applied to any kind of XML. This looks like a bit text technology side of it. Maybe the developers can understand it more, but style sheets are, just keep in mind that style sheets are just important for the submissions. If we are making any changes into it, the submission will not pass the validation. There is also a thing called as validation of a submission. There are different tools in the markets where it will help us validate. Technical validation I'm talking about, not the reviewable validation of a submission. So what is checksum? So checksum is, as I said, MD5 checksum also people called it as. Checksum will look like this. Here if you see in last row, it's a blue. Checksum is like this. So let's see what is checksum. So a checksum or hash sum it is called as is fixed size datum computed for an arbitrary block of digital data for the purpose of detecting accidental errors that may have been introduced during its transmission or storage. The integrity of the data can be checked at any time by recomputing the checksum and comparing it with the stored one. If the checksums match, the data were almost certainly not altered. So checksum is an algorithm. I'll explain it a bit short because this looks like a very difficult language for just I would say BPharm graduates and all, BPharm students and all. Checksum is nothing but it's an integrity of a submission. Suppose you have prepared one submission which is finalized, the checksum file will get generated. Checksum file is nothing but unique alphanumeric number. This number is the identity of this submission. If someone tried to alter the submission, even though if you opened it and if you change the name of a single file, the MD5 checksum will get changed. So whatever the checksum file we are sending it to the health authority, it should reach to that only. If someone tries to do any changes into the submission, the checksum will get changed, and definitely health authority will understand that someone has made some changes into the submission and this is not the correct submission. Please submit it. So this is the way. From the start of the ECTD, checksum is out there and it will be always there because it detects the integrity of a submission if someone has changed, because submission will be stored at one location just like our laptops and file explorer. Anybody can access it. Definitely if some people are kind of people which are working on some confidential things, definitely those only will get access. But suppose I'm working on that submission and someone from my team also, someone has checked that submission, if any changes are there, definitely the checksum will change. So if we talk about the general considerations, a representative folder hierarchy for module 2. So module 2 will have the introduction, the QoS, which is 2.3, this is quality overall summary. Then 2.4, that is non-clinical overview. Then 2.5, which is clinical overview. Then the 2.6, that is non-clinical summary. And 2.7, that is clinical summary. So these are the sections. M1 for all the markets, the M1, the folder structure will be differ. The kind of folder structures which are there for module 2 to module 5 are common across the regions. So M2 will have the introductory documents. As I said, 2.3 quality overall summary. Quality overall summary will have also multiple sections and we have to add documents. So let's talk about the module 3. Module 3 is nothing but it's a CMC section, that is quality, we call it as. A representative folder of hierarchy for module 3. If we talk about the module 3, it will have all the documents, specifically 32P and 32S. 32P is nothing but the drug product and 32S is about the drug substances. If we talk about the 32P, it will have all the, if you see, if you want to see the master formula of some product, if you take some of the product in the market, if you want to check what is the formula for it, what went into it, if you want to check in-depth things, so this is the one section which is very important. These are the appendices, excipients and all. If we talk description and composition, So in 32P1, you will be able to see that the description and composition will have all the details, such as which kind of uh, IUPAC structure, what are the APIs, that is active pharmaceutical ingredients, are there in the submission. So all the details will be there. Then the 32P2 will have pharmaceutical development. Pharmaceutical development means how that drug has developed and what all the details they have used. So they have to provide each and every detail to the health authority in these sections. There are also some guidelines. We are talking about only ECTD guidelines. There are guidelines separately for this kind of module 3 and all other modules, which will explain in detail what should be the criteria, what should be the details present inside the of that document. Then the third one is manufacturer, 32P3. This is also very important section, which will have details of manufacturing, who is manufacturing the submission, not the submission, sorry, the drug product. If we talk about, definitely some companies will have multiple setups for manufacturing and all. Among all that, which is which branch exactly is manufacturing the submission product, manufacturing the product. And then also the batch analysis, which is the batch release site, every detail will be present there. Then in 32P4, there will be the excipients will come. If we are adding any excipients into the submissions, we have to provide which excipient is, whether this is compendial or non-compendial. Again, what is compendial and non-compendial? Compendial is nothing but the excipients which are mentioned in pharmacopoeia of any other countries. Definitely we have as Indian pharmacopoeia, definitely for other countries they have their own pharmacopoeias. So if that is present in their pharmacopoeia, then it will be considered as a compendial. And if there are some excipients which are not mentioned in pharmacopoeia, will be considered as a non-compendial. So those non-compendials, again, we have to provide all the details, such as specifications, analytical procedures, validation analytical procedures, all we have to give. Then let's talk about the 32P5 section, which is again 32P5 will have different subsections like 32P51, that is specifications. All the specifications will there. If there are some different third party CMOs or third party manufacturers are there, so definitely DP manufacturer documents will go, because whatever the specifications and test they are conducting, also the same test will be conducted by the DP manufacturer. DP manufacturer is nothing but the drug product manufacturer. And uh, those tests again come uh, did by the DP manufacturer, and they will cross check the results. Is there any data issues, data integrity issues or not? Because that it may happen, the data can be manipulated. So that is the reason all the whatever the third party manufacturer is there, they are also doing it, and the companies are also doing it. Then analytical procedures, then validation analytical procedures, then batch analysis. Then batch analysis is nothing but batch wise analysis of a API or the drug product, whatever it is, because since it is related to 32P, so it will have only validation analytical procedures details related to drug product. And if it is 5.4, we can, since this is completely 32P section, it will have details of drug products only. So batch analysis the same. Then the characterization impurities, if there are some impurities found in it, then details, we should include the details into it. Justification of specifications, then reference standards, what are the reference standards you are using there, that we have to explain. The container closure system, so this is also one of the very important section where you have to give all the details, such as whatever container you are using. Suppose you are using glass container, amber colored water, you have to give details, which glass it is made up of, why it is made up of, its stability, everything we have to give. Suppose there are many innovative solutions come in terms of containers. It's not just about amber color bottles and all. There are sprays, nasal sprays, there are some pre-filled syringes. So all the details, how it is working, why it is impacting, why it is working, how it is impacting, whether whatever the nasal spray is, whatever the quantity of the what I can say, the drug product is coming out of that, whether it is correct, whether every actuation does it coming at the same quantity. Those kind of minute details will be available in container closure systems. Then if we talk about the 32P8, that is stability data. So 32P8 having, again, there are three sections which are not mentioned over here. 32P81 is nothing but stability summary, then stability data, 32P83, and 32P82 is nothing but post stability. So those details will be there. Every each and as I said earlier, all the details are mentioned in guidelines what should be included. Then if we talk about the 32R, that is regulatory information, we call it this section as this section will have many things such as certificate of suitability, TSC BSc statement documents, because TSC BSc are very important to conduct, and it is TSC BSc free, and all the declarations we have to give in these sections. So also many other documents can be included. I am just giving you a brief and overview of it. So as I said, 32S. So 32S and 32P are almost same sections, only some numbers are different because here it's container closure system, and 32S container closure system is also there. But 32P4, that is excipients, since this is drug substance section, this won't have any excipient because excipients will be used in the final product, and this 32S drug substance is nothing but is API. So substance one and manufacturer one, it is mentioned over here because some of the products may contain multiple APIs. That is substances. Multiple APIs means there are we have combinations of what we can say fixed FDC, we call it as fixed dose combinations. Suppose there is a tablet which has aciclofenac as well as paracetamol, aciclopara we call it as. So all the details. So substance one will be named as paracetamol, and again there will be another node called as aciclofenac. And again the manufacturer, if paracetamol has multiple manufacturers, we have to provide the details as well. So this node will keep repeating in terms of, if suppose for there are four suppliers, contract manufacturing organizations are just, we are just getting it from the third party. Mostly companies will get it because the API companies are different and manufacturing companies are different. They will get it all the information and they will put it here. So 32S1 will have general information. Again it will have nomenclature and all details. As we said here, description and composition, here it will be related to the API manufacturing characterization. 32S4, and in that specification, analytical procedures, validation analytical procedures, batch analysis, justification of specification, reference standards, container closure system, stability, and then the 3.3, the literature references and all. As I said, for module 4, non-clinical references would be there, and module 5, clinical references would be there. But since module 3, if there are some literature references which are supported to this data, will be included in 3.3. So this is the module 4. This is the structure of module 4. So module 4 will have study reports. Very in detail sections are there. It will take a lot of time. Let's move further, because this will have study reports, pharmacological actions, then pharmacokinetic action, then toxicology, everything would be there. So, and 4.3 section is nothing but literature references section, which, as I said earlier, this section will include the literature references which are applicable to module 4, non-clinical literature references. Then this is module 5, which will have clinical study reports, and definitely module 5 will have multiple biopharmaceutical studies, bio BA and BU studies, bioequivalent study reports and all, in vivo studies. All the studies will be over here, and all the studies will have some particular number. So these are all sections of module 5. So as I said earlier, most of the countries are following EU practices only, because US practices are different and EU practices are different. The countries for which they have not developed their own process, uh, they have accepted that whatever the processes and whatever the practices been followed there in European region, that we will follow. So let's talk a bit about the European submission things. So there will be some procedures in EU. Procedures are nothing but the European EU has several regulatory procedures for obtaining marketing authorization. Marketing authorization, nothing but the approval, the first approval, because to market the product into the European market, you have to get a marketing authorization. So that's what the permission to sell the product after going through all the processes. So as you know, EU is not just about the one country. It's a European Union containing 27 countries. Previously, it was 28, since United Kingdom, which is Britain has come out of it. They are still following the same procedures, but whatever the submissions we are submitting to European region will not be applicable for the um, United Kingdom or Britain. We call it as they call it as Brexit. So they have their own processes now. They are setting up all the things. So as I said, the choice of procedure depends on factors like the type of product and the number of EU member states in which the company wants to market it. Suppose some if you are owning a company and if you want to get into the EU market, so definitely all the company, it's not about the major companies, I'm talking about some small scale industries which they want to, if they want to enter into the European market. So what they will do is they will select what is, they will see about what our product is, where we can market. So there will be some strategy behind it. So all that strategy, they will also include that which markets we have to introduce is first. So and again, the European region, though there are 27 countries, sorry, though there are 27 countries, all 27 countries mostly they follow English, but definitely they have their own language, such as Germany they have German, France they have French, if we talk about some Hungary and all, they have Hungarian. Many languages are Italy, Italian language. So they have multiple languages, so we have to build the strategy like that, so accordingly. So if we talk about the procedures, is centralized procedure, national procedure, decentralized procedure, and mutual recognition procedure. Suppose you selected a one country, suppose you selected a one country, if you have to get a marketing authorization from that one particular country, the company will be using the national procedure. They will reach out to that country and they will get the approval. So this is about the second one is centralized procedure. Centralized procedure is nothing but as the word suggests, centralized. So if you want to get an approval for all the countries, you have to submit the submissions. You have to submit the application in centralized procedures. Here, the centralized, in this centralized procedure, in one go you can submit. You can create a submission, and it will get submitted to the health authority. It will get submitted to the health authority in just one go. Meanwhile, they have their own tats and tits and tats, I would say, because turnaround time and all, because every health authority has their own turnaround time and they will review accordingly. If there are some issues, they will come back and ask questions to the company, and again they will be giving some time to answer back to the health authority. Then the part is decentralized procedures. Decentralized procedures is exactly the opposite of centralized procedure. And decentralized procedures is nothing but if you want to take a approval for multiple countries, but not all EU countries. Such as if you say, if you want to take approval in 3 to 4 countries only out of 27, you have to submit the submission to decentralized procedure, and accordingly they will review the submission. There are two different things in decentralized sub procedures and mutual recognition procedures. Uh, they will have two extra things, that is RMS and CMS. RMS is nothing but reference member state, and CMS is nothing but concern member state. So RMS and CMS in decentralized procedure, what you have to do is you have to select one RMS, that is reference member state, that, and CMS concern member state. So CMS will review the submission, RMS will also. If CMS concern member states have any kind of questions, those questions they have to direct through RMS only. Whatever the questions CMS will have, they will ask it to RMS, that is reference member state, and then they will ask those same questions to the company through the health authority portal. So that what will happen, many people won't contact the company, and the communications will be a straightforward. That's what the benefit we can see of the decentralized procedure. Then the next procedure is mutual recognition procedure. So here it's a bit different. Here also RMS and CMS, but here the work of RMS is different. You can say a reference. It's very easier to understand. Reference means other countries are just referring to that same country. Suppose you have filed a submission in national procedure to a one particular country, you have got approval. Again, the strategy got changed. Many countries follow this strategy because it's easier to get the approvals, but it depends on the strategies based on company levels and leadership teams. MRP procedures are like, Suppose submission is approved in one nation, and you want to file the same submissions, or the file the same products to market in another countries of EU region. What you can tell us, you can refer, the CMS will refer how this RMS has given an approval for that particular submission or the particular product to market in that their own country, and they will refer that, and then they will give. There are some countries like Belgium, Luxembourg, and all. If you are submitting submission in Belgium, you can easily get the approval in Luxembourg. There are some countries who have their mutual understanding. If you are submitting a submission in Luxembourg, Belgium will accept it. So in that way, these people have solve, or we can say, make it easy for the companies or the reviewers as well, that how, because it's all about the Europe, and the race is also same, so it won't affect differently in different European region. So that's the only thing. So then let's talk about some EU variations. EU variations are like European variations I'm talking about. Here I have mentioned only four, because these four are very basic, very important, easier to understand. Rest of the variations are also there, but I chose these four to make you more understand, to understand you easily. So European variations. In the European region, a variation is any change to the content of marketing authorization of a medicinal product. This is an essential process for the life cycle management of a medicine, allowing marketing authorization holders to implement change based on new scientific or technical developments. If there are some changes, if you have filed some, if your product has got approval, or you are filing some variations, what you have to do is you have to choose one variation type. If you are select, and you have to pay some fees to the health authority. So if you are choosing a wrong variation type, may lead to losses, definitely. It's about the fees, time, everything, efforts, everything will go in well. So you have to be very conscious, understand the things, which variation will get applicable to it. And based on variations, here you can see that 1A, 1A-IN, 1B, and type 2. So every variation has its own significance, why they are why we are filing it. I will explain it further. So as it is mentioned over here, life cycle management of medicine, allowing marketing authorization holders to implement changes. So if there are developments happen, suppose there is a product which is already approved, and suddenly the during R&D company got to know that we can make it more faster. Suppose if the onset of action time, we can say, that is what 2 hours after taking that tablet, and they have uh, what we can say, developed some new process. Definitely there are many research going on, and there will be difference in processes. So if they change something into the product, then, and they can see that the product is acting fast than before, then they will have to give some variations, file variations, that how it is changing, and the agency will review it, and accordingly it will get approved and into the market. So variations are classified based on the potential impact of products, quality, safety, and efficacy. These three words are very important when it comes to regulatory, because quality, safety, and efficacy. Quality is nothing but what the details, as we discussed module 3 completely, 3 to P and S. So it will have all the details. Health authority will deep dive into the documents, check everything, whether it is safe or not, how it is, from where it is coming, where it is going, how they are conducting the test and all. Definitely there will be some audits by the health authorities, time to time audits, which they will ensure that companies are following all the standards. Because if any ignorance would have happened, this may lead to a major setback, and definitely the life of a patient, because it hurts more. Quality, then safety, how this medicine is safe for the patients, how much it is safe, if it is giving some what I can say, contraindications, we can say, as if it is giving some side effects, if it is adverse drug events, adverse drug reactions, if it is giving what kind of those will be checked in safety department. So if any adverse drug event and adverse drug reaction, the difference between them is adverse drug reaction, which means they know it is only whatever the reaction has happened is only because of that only, that is adverse drug reaction of that particular product only, they have know it. And adverse drug event is nothing but may or may not be. Means some patient has taken a medicine and he has got some events, adverse drug events, but along with that doctor has also prescribed some other medicines to the particular patient, and doctor or the safety team is not able to figure out why this adverse event is occurred. They cannot say that this adverse event has occurred only because of this particular API or the excipient or whatever the thing is used in the drug product. So that is like may or may not be. Then efficacy is also very important thing. Efficacy talks about that how much it is efficient, we would say. If we are taking paracetamol 500 mg, how much time it will take, is it really acting that much expect as per the expectation or not. That's what comes under the efficacy. The current framework defines the following types of variations, that is variation type 1a, variation type 1a in, variation type 1b, and variation type 2. So variation type 1a in is immediate notification. We will discuss further these four variations, I would say. So variation type 1a is, type 1a variation is a minor change. It's a very minor change to a drug marketing authorization that has little to no impact on its quality, safety, or efficacy. These changes are often referred to as do and tell because the company can implement the change before notifying the regulatory health authority, which must occur within 12 months. So variation type 1A is a minor variation. Most of the time companies files these only until any major changes are there. So little or no impact, whatever the, for let's talk about the examples and then I will explain the above part, because it will help you to understand what exactly variation type 1 is. So the example is like there would be some administrative changes. Administrative changes means change in the name or address of the marketing authorization holder, update to the manufacturer's name or address. So here, if any marketing authorization holder is there, so suppose these days there are a lot of acquisitions, demergers happens. So sometimes company changes their names, or the some companies will change the ownership of that company, and something will happen, they will change. There are also, we can say that change of city names. So that can also come because it will be change of address. Then the update of manufacturer's name or address, that's what I said. See, this is very minor change in the name, address, marketing of the marketing authorization holder. Is it impacting the quality, safety, and efficacy? Definitely not. So it will come under variation type 1a, which is very minor change. It won't impact in quality, safety, or efficacy. And do and tell, here you have leverage provided by the health authority of a European region, like that you do it and just inform us. You don't need formal approval for that. Okay. So you for other major variations you have to file, they will review it, evaluate it, and then they will come and say, okay, we are approving, now you can go forward. That is in terms of another variations that we will see further. Here it is like just do it and inform us, so there is no need. And here you can see submit the variation type 1a. So the company can implement the change before notifying the health authority, which must occur in within 12 months. So it should occur in 12 months. The next example will be like manufacturing and quality control. So minor adjustments to the manufacturing process. Minor adjustments to the manufacturing processes, we can say uh, there have been some, whatever the process they are following, so they have just changed it. So it won't impact the quality, safety, or efficacy of a submission. Then the another is like these are manufacturing and quality control type of examples to understand you better. The minor changes to the flavoring or coloring system. So if they are changing flavoring or coloring system, that is also not a very, it won't be a very big change, because that comes under the excipient, and excipients won't hamper the safety, efficacy, and quality of a drug product. That is the reason they are called as excipients. Then let's talk about the variation type 1a ion. So variation type 1a ion is nothing but the immediate notification. So here variation type 1a ion refers to a type 1A variation that requires immediate notification to regulatory authorities after implementation, as it's minor change that must be reported without delay. Just without delay, just consider this word as to understand it better. Without delay, you have to inform it immediately, unlike regular type 1A variations that can be grouped and submitted in an annual report. 1A INs must be notified right away. So if you are making any changes to the company, uh, you have to inform it immediately, and you don't need to need a formal approval from the health authority for this. So if we talk about the examples for one time variation, if you see in if you read it, it's same what was in sub variation type 1A, but definitely I'll tell what exactly 1A type 1A IN and 1A. So change in name, address of the marketing authorization holder, the company's name or address changes, this must be reported immediately. So if we look here in past previous slide, so which must occur within 12 months. If you have time, you can do it within 12 months. If you have 12 months further, whatever the change you are implementing, you can submit it in variation type 1A. But here the thing is, if you are directly changing is sudden change in the process, sudden change in the some government has given some approval and there is a change in city name, then definitely it will come under 1A IN. So the it should be reported immediately. Then the next thing is change in manufacturer of the finished product. So company that manufactures the final product changes requires immediate notification. There will be CMOs, contract manufacturing organizations, where the companies will, if you see on, maybe you will notice, many of the companies follows this CMO type of businesses, because they will get it manufactured from third party organization or a CMA, I can say that, and they will just put their tag as marketed by. So sometimes there are some issues come if during some audits, if the serious allegations or serious findings, if auditor or the health authority audits found, they can say just stop the production. So it may hamper the businesses. Normally companies will have multiple options, they won't be dependent on one single manufacturer, they will have contract with different manufacturers as well. And in that case, the process, definitely the drug product finished product manufacturer or the drug product manufacturer will give them process of the manufacturing, the same they have to follow. So in that case the process will be the same for the manufacturing. If the process is same, definitely it won't hamper the quality, safety and efficacy of a product. But in that case you have to notify it immediately to the health authorities regarding that. This comes under variation type 1A IN. So this is variation type 1B. So this is also a minor change, but here you have to inform, wait, and then implement the procedure. So a type 1B variation is a minor change to a medicinal products marketing authorization that requires a tail, wait, and do procedure. The change, this tail, wait, and do is easy to what we can say, easy to keep in mind. If we see here it's do and tell in variation type 1A. Here also do and immediately notified. Here it's tell, wait, and do. These three words will help you keeping it in your mind, or keeping it, or you can learn it that way, which will make easier for you, because these all are technical words. If you read it, we may feel like this is something else and it is difficult to understand. So these three words you can keep it in mind and it will work. That's how we also keep it in mind. So so I'll go again. A type 1B variation is a minor change to a medicinal products marketing authorization that requires tail, wait, and do procedure. The change is notified to a regulatory authority before implementation. See, the change is notified to a regulatory authority before implementation. In variation type 1A and 1A IN, you can implement and inform. But there is a change in timeline. You have to inform immediately, and you can take 12 months of time if you have 12 months of time. So it's change. The company waits for a 30-day period to ensure the notification is acceptable. Then the change can be implemented. There are more significant than type 1A variation, but do not require a formal approval. Here also, company can tell them, the health authority, that this is the thing, and company can wait for 30 days to ensure that notification is acceptable or not. Even though health authority has not given any clarification over that, you don't need a formal approval for that. You can directly go and implement that change in that. you can implement that change and go forward without expecting any approval. So the example, this is very good example which will help you understand it very easily. Example is increasing pack size. Increasing pack size is nothing but definitely if you are checking your tablets or strips or boxes which will have 10 to 15 strips, it will mention as 10 tablets. If a strip will have 10 tablets, and it will say as 10 into 10, which means 10 tablets in 10 strips in the box you will be able to see. So here it's increasing of pack size, which means if they are adding if the strip has 10 tablets and they want to keep it like they want to add it 15 tablets, that is what the increasing pack size. But definitely you have to inform it to health authority that we are changing the pack size. It's not like it's just a 10 tablet strip, and I think as the supply is affecting, there is a less inventory available in the market, let me do it 15. No, there are some criterias you have to analyze. Companies will do a lot of strategy on that, and then only they will increase the pack size. If you see, uh, there are many medicines which come in different type of packages. If we talk about I don't want to take a name, but there are some. I'm not taking names because it's company wise, and those all are the not confidential details. Those are already in market, but taking company's name or a product name may create a controversies. That is the reason I'm not taking name. But if you see, there are some antacids. They comes in pouches. They comes in tablet. They comes in lozenges. They comes in bigger sizes. So if we see, that is the change in size, pack size, that comes under variation type only. So variation type 2. So this is the major change. This is, and this also takes more time to get an approval from the health authority. So variation type 2 refers to a major change in medicinal product that could have significant impact on its quality, safety, or efficacy. If we talk about all other previous variations, they were saying about no impact on quality, safety, or efficacy. Here it is saying significant impact on its quality, safety, or efficacy, but does not involve altering the active substance, its strength, or route of administration. These variations require formal approval from the regulatory authority before implementation. Examples include changes to the manufacturing site or process, updates to patient or physician information, or introduction of new clinical data. So let's understand it more. Let's cut this sentence in 2 to 3 different sentences so that we can understand it. The first thing is it's a major change. Second thing, it impacts quality, safety, or efficacy. Means significant impact. I'm not saying the major impact, because whenever we are filing a new submission or a new product, we want to market it, then we will file the MA, that is marketing authorization application. But here these are the variations. Once it is approved, we can give these variations. And here it does not involve altering the active substance. You cannot change the active substance, its strength, and the route of administration. Okay, so if they are changing, it will go in different variations, or it may go in different variations. So these are required. If we talk about the previous 1A and 1AIN don't require formal approval. 1B, no need of formal approval. You can just inform and wait for 1 month and you can implement. And here in variation type 2, you have to wait, because these are significant which makes significant impact on the drug products or the finished products, we can say. If we take about the examples, manufacturing site, changes in manufacturing site or processes. Suppose if manufacturing site is changing, the machines are getting changed, or the processes of manufacturing the a drug product, then definitely it will come under. Then updates to patient or physician information. Patient or physician information, nothing but you may find if you're opening the some tablets will have carton inside that, and inside that cartons there will be one paper, that is very important paper, that will be patient information and also the physician information. We call it as package leaflet. Some countries call it as PI, patient information. Also package leaflets we can call it as. In normal, most of the countries and most of the people referred it as package leaflet only, and sometimes leaflet only. So it will have all the details. If you I would request you, if you are find such papers inside that, go through it. It will help you understanding the how this medicine working, uh, what are the issues, the side effects, drug reactions, adverse drug events we may occur. All the informations will be there. There are summary of product, SPC, as I said, SMPC, summary of products and characteristics. So the examples could be new therapeutic indications. The new thing is, new therapeutic indications means, suppose you are taking some medicine which is having some indication. So if you are taking NSAID paracetamol, it's very clear that it has indications such as pain relief. And there would be some medicines where scientists may different R&D people or scientists may find out that, this medicine can also be utilized in another indication. So if there are new therapeutic indication, you have to file again variation type 2. The health authority will review at granular level, and then they will come back and say, these are the things we need, this data you have to provide, and accordingly they will take their time and give you the approval for the for the product. Then updates on based on new safety data. So updates based on new safety data is like, suppose there is a product which is already in market, and later on, after consumed by many patients, companies found that there is some adverse reactions are more, or we can say that there is new safety data coming in. So because clinical trials will have also the post marketing surveillance, irrespective of that clinical phases, though there will be some clinical trials and phases. So they may found new data many times, so they have to file it with this variation type 2. So changes to manufacturing processes, as I said earlier. In this way, whatever the information I was knowing about basics, I would say, for the variations, EU market, the procedures, what is ECTD, I have explained. Maybe we can go for further questions section. If anybody has any questions, maybe I can take those.
Yes, Kelan. Yes, Yogendra. Can you see
Uh,
the question? Can you see the
yeah.
question on your screen?
What are those? Yes.
What are the softwares rather than eCTD Manager where students can practice CTD modules?
I think that's a very good question, Satyajit Das. See, there are many ECTD softwares uh, which are very famous, and there are some softwares which are new to the market. But definitely, ECTD Manager for students, I don't think so. There are some softwares apart from ECTD Manager, but there are some softwares called as Pharma Ready and all. But I'm not sure. Mostly, they work on license basis, because whatever the infrastructure they have to build behind that is very much costlier. Even the licenses for softwares are costlier. But definitely, if we talk about the Extedo and all, they conduct many sessions for the different regions, that how they are working on their what we can say, the softwares, how they are implementing changes there. Definitely there will be some updates to the softwares, what updates they have made, and how it will impact the submissions, so that the publishers and companies can complete the ECTD submission and send it across to the health authority to get the approval. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, yes, Yogendra. Then next question is QAQC official who are responsible for submission of CTD and whom they report?
It depends on the companies. There are some Indian generic companies where QA/QC officials also helps in building the documents and ECTD submissions. But there are also companies, global MNCs, who are like, they will have different teams. QA/QC people only prepare the document, and they will give the CMC responsible person, and CMC responsible person will give it to the submission owner, and then submission owner will gather all the documents, and they will create one request to publish the submission. Then it will reach to the publishing team, then they will work on the documents, then they will prepare the submissions, then again it will go back to the what I can say, the owner. They will review it, and once they say go ahead, then we can forward that submission for the submission to HA. Again, the submission will depend on the different markets. If we say Europe, US, they have their own portals, ESG Next Gen portal, or EMA portals, or SAS gateways, which the companies will give the access to the publishers. All the submission owners, they can send it. And if we talk about the submission, if some countries, there are countries which don't have gateways, so for those countries that submission will be submitted through the local representative appointed by that company. Thank you.
Okay. Next question: what role regulatory affairs have in clinical research?
Definitely clinical research, all the documents will come to regulatory affairs only. As we said, clinical and non-clinical documents, module 4 and 5. Regulatory affairs is a department. It's like all the small species of pharma industry will contribute together, and it will come to regulatory affairs department, and regulatory affairs department is responsible for providing that data to the health authority and get approval for the submission.
Okay, thank you, Yogendra.
Yeah, thank you everyone, thanks a lot.
Just wait for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, on behalf of principal and faculty members of Gokhale Education Society, Sir Dr. M.S. Gosavi, College of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Nasik, I am very grateful to thank Yogendra Patil for his exhaustive lecture on the topic of regulatory affairs. He detailed explain about CTD modules, types, components. He also introduced about checksum to the participants, and he also explained the procedure of EU submission. I am sure this session will be helpful to all the participants working in regulatory affairs and those who want to work in the regulatory affairs. I am thankful to Yogendra Patil, and as a token of gratitude, kindly accept our certificate.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Just wait for a minute, Yogendra.
Hello, Yogendra.
Hello. Sorry, I was
Am I
on
audible?
mute.
Yes. Am I
Yes, I
audible?
can hear you. Yes.
Yes, yes. So nice session, Yogendra, from your end. So I am here to conclude the session of today's national level webinar. Good afternoon, everyone. As we draw to close this national level webinar on next generation therapeutics, the convergence of artificial intelligence, regulatory affairs, and endocrine immunology, it is my distinct honor and privilege to propose the formal vote of thanks on the behalf of IQAC, MSGCOPER, and Department of Pharmacology. First and foremost, our deepest gratitude goes to our esteemed resource person for sharing their invaluable knowledge and time. A sincere thank you to Dr. Jaikant Chandrasekharan, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacology, Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, deemed to be University, Porur, Chennai. We extend our heartfelt appreciation to Mrs. Beenal B. Patel, Madam, Assistant Professor, Dr. Chinu Bhai Vallabhbhai Patel, College of Pharmacy, Uka Tasadia University, Surat, Gujarat. Our special thank to our prestigious alumnus, Mr. Yogendra Vilas Patil, Senior Associate, GRAAS Regulatory Operation, Amgen India, Hyderabad, for shedding light on the critical areas of drug regulatory affairs. Your expertise has made this webinar a grand success and truly enriched our understanding of this cutting edge field. I am thankful to Dr. D.P. Deshpande Madam, Secretary, Treasurer, and Director HR, Gokhale Education Society, Dr. R.P. Deshpande Sir, President, Gokhale Education Society, Sri P.M. Deshpande Sir, Project Director, Gokhale Education Society, Sri Sailesh Gosavi Sir, Director, Establishment, Gokhale Education Society, for providing continuous motivation, support, and guidance. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. S.V. Amrutkar Sir, Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Prashant Pingre Sir, Head of the Department of Pharmacology, Dr. Vijay Lambode Sir, and the organizing committee, the faculty and staff member, whose meticulous planning and tireless effort behind the scene ensured the smooth execution of this one-day webinar. A big thank you to the technical support team for ensuring a seamless online platform, a glitch-free experience for all the attendees. Finally, we are immensely grateful to all the participants from various parts of the nation who joined us today and made this webinar interactive and engaging with their active presence and thoughtful questions. Thank you all once again for your cooperation and enthusiasm in making this national level webinar a memorable and impactful event. We look forward to seeing you at our future program. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you very much. All the participants are instructed to fill the feedback link which is posted on your WhatsApp group. Once you fill the feedback, within 1 to 2 days, you will receive the e-certificate for this webinar. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yogendra.